Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, Fabricating Firewood. My name's Matt. Today's July 3rd, 2024. Got bugs flying around my face. It is a muggy, I mean like dripping wet, muggy, 84 degrees, but it feels like 95. It says it feels like 90, but it feels way worse. It's really, really humid right now. So now that I've got my shipping container / weld workshop all done, I spent last week putting this other set of shelving units up so that I can get all of my saws and everything off the ground and leave this front area open for fabrication. I spent the last 2 months doing a French drain on my property, which really needed to get done before anything else. That's now fully complete. I've got all of my metals set up, ready to go. I'm pretty sure I have enough and what I need. And I've decided that what I need to do is start on the firewood bundler working inside out. So to get the proper width firewood, which is 12 inches by 12 inches high, I need to actually make the bracket that's going to slide front to back first, and that will allow me to start building outward from there. I know that I have to cut the actual plate that rotates around the back of it at 30 inches. It's a 4-inch plate by 1/4 inch. And that's going to mount to this flange bearing and then this sprocket. So I've already drilled the holes in this to line it up, and now I'm just going to drill them out a little bit larger so that they fit the flange and sandwich it, and that way I can attach it directly to the cold rolled steel 1-inch rod, and from there, once I get that done, I can start on the back of it and start working outward. So the reason that is I don't want to build the cage, the overall dimensions of the cage, and then build something on the inside and have it, not fit. So start in and work out. I've got the overall concept from, I can't remember the name of the video. The guy's in Indiana. I'll put the link in the description. He made an original one that I viewed back in, I want to say, December or January, and he made it out of an old hammock. I already have the steel, and I have a good place to get steel, Warner Steel in Indianapolis. So I went and got all new materials, and then I was watching an updated video of his that showed the outer dimensions just to get an idea, and I like to draw things out. I like to draw things out to give me some idea of how it's going to look. And then while I was looking for this video, he has an updated video where he's making another one which is similar to the design that I'm doing, which shows that he's making it for a friend, but I'm glad he made it because I got some really good photos of his so that I can just not reinvent the wheel and do what he's doing. So stick with me today while I get started on this. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be out here because, like I said, it is hot and muggy, but hopefully you get something out of this, and it'll be a start to finish video. I don't know if it's going to be a 1 or 2 or 3 part, but it's going to be a start to finish video so people will know exactly how to make it step by step. So this pillow block that I have, I got off Amazon. I'll try and put the links. It's F205, so UCF 205-16. And then I've got this pillow block right here. It is UCP 204-12, made by JMW. The sprocket, the large sprocket, is a number 35 roller train sprocket, 5/8 inch bore. I'm going to have to cut this out. Doesn't matter if it's messed up, it's going to use the blowtorch because the bolts is going to go through it. It's going to be sandwiched between the 2 pillow blocks. But this is X003 Charles David 9 Henry Adam Henry. I've actually been looking forward to this and dreading it at the same time. It's if it were nice out, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is not nice out. It is not conducive to feeling comfortable. I'm completely drenched right now. Forgot I don't know where I got this magnet. I have no idea where I got it. Basically, it might be some kind of a speaker magnet or something. I don't know. Either way, round magnet, put it around the hole and it captures all the chips. I'm pretty sure that I probably won't even need to use the torch to cut through this because it drills so easy. I'll probably just use a Varibit. I'll see how that works out. But as you can see, cleans the chips right up and just go outside in the gravel and peel it off. Oh, it's 10 times worse out in the sun. Too much chatter is not allowing it to get a decent enough bite. That bit is really dull. I'm gonna go see if I can't sharpen this. Worst thing about doing metal work is all the metal shavings everywhere. Best thing about having a shipping container for your workshop is that you can just open the door at the end and just blow everything right out the front. So what I need to do, since I'm basically getting down into this hole and I don't want to, I guess I could make it a little bit bigger, but I need to lift this off the top because it's eating into my table. So I'm not going for any particular size, just larger than 1 inch diameter for the 1 inch rod that's going through it. Now I have to see if I have some bolts that are long enough to go through all of this. And the plate. And I have to transfer the same hole pattern to the rotating plate. Oh, that sun is brutal. Okay, so 30-inch piece by 4 by 1/4 inch. Oh man. Okay, so I'm going to center this as best I can, top to bottom. Not got to be perfect, but my tism is going to prevent me from not making it perfect. So just under 13 1/8. Just at 13 1/8. Just under. Just under. All right. So this is perfectly-ish centered. I'm gonna use a soapstone. See if Sharpie shows up better. Yeah, Sharpie does just fine. They're nice. Huh. I just realized something. Lights are motion lights. Nice. Just having a problem getting past those steps on that step bit.
3 hours later.
Easy peasy. That made a hot mess. Okay. So for spacers, I'm just going to use flat washers. And the reason you need a spacer in between the plate and the sprocket is so that you have some standoff for the chain. The chain is a 10-foot number 35 roller chain. So I'm not going to need it that much. It's not that big of a chain. The one he's making now, that I got this original design off of, the guy is using a 1-to-1 turn, so every turn you get one turn. Don't want to lose these links. So basically that is the standoff that I need. Okay, so the length of bolt that I need is going to be about 2.5 to 3 inches. I'll be back. You never have enough bolts, flat washers, lock washers, and nuts. I'm going to need some longer bolts. So I need 4 7/16 inch washers. 7/16 bolts by 3 inch, I'm pretty sure. don't have any 7/16 inch lock washers, so I'm gonna have to use a 1/2 inch for now. Oh, you're so cool, brother. Brother! 2.5 inch bolts. So 2.5 inch, 7/16 inch bolts work just fine. 4 7/16 inch flat washers, 4 7/16 inch nuts, 4 7/16 inch lock washers, or 1/2 inch if you don't have 7/16, and you should be good. And that is plenty of room for that chain to operate without getting anywhere near the base plate. Now this is a hot mess. Good news is I just sold my flail mower by Del Marino for literally the same amount of money that I bought it for 2 years ago. That's what inflation does. So I'm gonna go deliver that tomorrow, and then start doing some research on exactly which mower deck or brush cutter slash mulcher I want for the excavator. That's going to be the next purchase. Kind of short on tools out here, so the old crescent wrench is good enough for now. Now, one thing I do know is you're going to want to, before you go tightening it down for good, is make sure that you can get this all the way through it. And that's why you want your holes a little bit oversized from the bolts. And then the plate will weld to the rod, and then the back will weld to the actual rear mounting plate. So I'm just going to snug these up so it doesn't go anywhere. So I can get somewhat of an idea of how long this needs to be. In the video of the other guy that made it, I'm going to go ahead and find that so I can start quoting who he is. So it's McKamey Farm and Outdoors. That's the guy I got the original design from, roughly, to give me an idea of what I was going to build, and the height and the width and the depth. So McKamey Farm and Outdoors. He is in Indiana, but I'm not sure exactly where in Indiana. I know how wide I need this, roughly, which is about 40 inches. But I'm going to build the vertical sliding plate first. So this is going to be my plate that holds the wood in the front. It's got to be 12 inches tall with a slight flare in the top of it, and 12 inches wide. I do 1 cubic foot bundles, and I sell them for $5. Reason is I have plenty of wood, and to me it's not worth $8 or $9 for a cubic foot of wood. That just, to me, I wouldn't pay that. So I like to be underpriced in this area, and that gives me a better chance of getting a customer versus them stopping by the convenience store and paying $9 or $10 for a 3/4 cubic foot of wood. So I'm just going to cut this at 36.5 and then start bending it from the center out. Again, having to remind myself that this is not a precision aerospace component. This is for firewood. The trick on bending steel in a vise with a blowtorch is getting the height above the actual vise correctly to get the correct bend in it, so it's not offset. Wish I had a wider vise. If I can go from the center. These gloves have seen better days and they do not like sweat. Another benefit of having a shipping container for a workshop. Parallel. So what I've got is exactly 12 inches from here to the top of this, and then from the inside to the center mark is 6 1/4. So by bending this exactly the same, it's going to give me an extra 1/4 inch, which isn't that big of a deal. It's still 12 inches from the top. So I'm going to go cool this down, and I'll burn myself. All right. So I'm gonna it's like, what the hell is that hissing? It's basically the water on this touching the vise. It's like, surely my torch isn't like leaking. Five-eighths. So for reference, I made my center mark and then came off 6 1/4. No, 6 1/8. So I came off from here 6 1/8 to give me my mark, and then I have this line sticking out past the vise 1/8 of an inch, so it's basically right at 12 inches, and this is sticking up 5/8 above this. Not this. This is not level with the actual top plate, so I've got to level with the plate so that it's actually equidistant somewhat between the bottom of this vise plate and the top of the vise plate. I rarely use this larger oxygen acetylene tank setup. I usually use my little portable one, and what I'm noticing, or what I noticed earlier, is this sounds a little bit less, for lack of better words. The smaller torch head set gives me a lot of, but this one's more smooth. That's what was throwing me off. Hell, I may not even have it adjusted correctly. I just know how to heat things up and bend them and then torch them, cut them. I know that that's a proper, as far as I'm concerned, to give me the correct heat to cut. And right now I've got sweat dripping down in my left eyeball. That's great. You want to keep the flame closer rather than farther away, so you heat up a smaller cross section of the steel so that when you start bending it, it doesn't curve, it bends. Obviously I don't have a brake, so I can't get a perfect bend. Check it for parallel. Nope. Okay. Parallel, now I gotta check it for measurement. So 12 and a half. A little too much. 12 and 3/8. A little too less. 12 and a half. 12 and a half. All right. Man, I got sweat running down my nose and my eyeballs. Oh, it's driving me nuts. Ah. 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 Man, my nose is itching. Okay. Ugh. While it's a little cool or a little hot, I'm gonna lay it on the welding table to see if it's flat and not twisted before I go cool it down. And it's a little twisted. See which one it is. Can't really tell. That one's leaning to the left, and that one's, they're both leaning to the left, so basically just twisted. Again, it's for firewood. It's for firewood. It's for firewood. I keep telling myself it's for firewood. A little too much. Oh yeah, I can feel that. So that one needs to come down. A little too much. That one needs to come down. That's the hot side, so I need to mess with that one. Good enough for government work. There we go. All right, now, how about a let's do a 2-inch flare. I mean, this isn't really necessary, it just makes it look a little better in my opinion. 5/8. I am most likely going to finish bending this. It's already about 6:30 p.m. I'm going to finish bending these two flares, and then I'm going to call it a day, start putting everything up. I've been going since about 6 a.m. this morning. Yesterday I used my KX040 at my buddy's house to pull up two, let's say 20-inch diameter stumps, silver maple, no taproot, but they were well established, so I had to go probably about 4 to 6 feet out away from the stump, outer diameter, to break the roots and then work my way in. And then once I got them all broken all the way around, I had to dig about 4 to 6 foot deep on two sides, which is below all the roots, and then pull on it to break the dirt away from the dirt, and then pull it out of the hole and start shaving the dirt off of it. And then he came with his skid steer and hauled them away. But I am thoroughly impressed with that excavator and its ability. That's good. This bend isn't critical, it's more for aesthetics. Okay. This is going to make my life so much easier when this is done, because I was using 2x10 boards screwed together, and I would wrap 6-inch plastic wrap around both sides of it instead of one big piece of plastic wrap around the center. It took forever. So much so that I got a complete dump trailer full, coned over, and then just sat there one day and got 3 complete pallets, about 5 foot tall, bundled for over the winter time and for the time that I was going to be laid up with my knee surgery. It took all day long. That's what I like about this weld table. Nice. There we go. Make sure that when you get done with your oxygen acetylene tank, that you bleed it out. Do not keep the hoses under pressure. If for some reason something gets cut, you don't want it to go splody. So that does it for this section of the video. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this one video, or if I can clip it down, keeping all the vital information in the video so that it's not more than 20 minutes long. If all the information has to be in there and it's still, if all the information is kept in there and it's still 20 minutes long, then this will be a single video. But either way, I appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Don't be too rough on me, but hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully you can do the same thing. And this will be the first video that I've seen that has exact detail on every step to cut this. So, I mean, I was able to use my imagination and get to this point, obviously, but why reinvent the wheel if I'm already doing it and you can just watch a video and just know every step instead of getting ahead of yourself? That's one of the biggest problems I find, is that if I start getting tired and I keep going, I get ahead of myself and I usually mess something up. So I'm pretty tired right now, so I'm just going to call it quits. Go in and eat and enjoy some bourbon.